It is a requirement that the person I'm with know every word of the musical Rent.
I know every word too.
Every word.
Every word. Where do you want to start?
Light my candle. Go.
What'd you forget?
Gotta light.
I know you're shivering.
It's nothing. They turned off my heat. And I'm just a little weak on my feet.
The film writer cannot see, and the songwriter cannot hear, but I see me everywhere.
I mean, that is amazing.
Hang on.
Bap, bap, bap.
I say this all the time. What's worse than like having a physical form?
If I look like you, I'd be fine with it.
You and I always thought that we kind of looked like we were related. So I guess
That's the nicest thing I've ever heard because
I always thought you were the prettiest person
you might be
alive.
you might be the prettiest person I've ever seen.
We could star in a buddy comedy like two sisters together.
We start out going to like get the guy.
Get the guy.
You know, it's like we have to go over and like tell the guy we're sorry, we want to get back together, but then we like fall in love during the road trip and we're like, are we gay?
Literally.
We're gay. And then we find
gay.
out we're sisters.
Yes. Yeah.
After we sleep together.
That's really good. That's actually really, really good.
It's an incest comedy.
But by the way, so was Dynasty, so it's fine. There was so much incest in Dynasty. Dynasty, I'm sorry, I slurred because I don't know what day it is. And
Dynasty.
Okay, I'm ready now.
I feel like you don't do a lot of podcasts.
I don't do a lot of anything. I kind of stay home and don't promote myself as an artist or entertainer at all, and then hope that people still cast me and remember me. That's sort of my like MO in life. I like grow vegetables and hang out with my dogs, and then I'm like, you know, I guess I like wait for things to happen.
You're
but I don't
living
attack.
my actual dream. I feel like I was way too thirsty and desperate for so long. Like, hire me, hire me, hire me, hire me. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let them come to me. I'm going to be mysterious. They'll come knocking.
I think they will come to you.
I don't know.
And I did it too early. And I'm like, why is no one at the door? Like, I might have to get my hearing checked because I don't hear any knocks. No, I'm kidding.
I'm always like, I'm going to go away for a while, let them miss me,
I do this all
build
the
some
time.
intrigue. And then I'm like, guys, did you notice that I've left and built some intrigue? I'm just not hearing.
Are we all intrigued?
From you. Is this thing on? Is my phone? Like, it's.
Yeah. No, I do that, except I don't come back. So that's the problem. But I've actually always wanted to meet you and be on this podcast. And I'm like stoked. I'm having so much fun already.
Wild.
I know. No, seriously. I really admire you and think you're very funny and cool.
That is wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a true story.
am in awe of you.
Stop.
No. How dare you? How dare you? I'm the one that cuts people off on this podcast.
Okay, I won't cut you off anymore. I am a cuttoffer. I'm not going to do it though anymore.
No,
it's
please.
so
I'm
rude.
begging you to. Okay. It is so rude, but I cannot I do not want to take Adderall, and I would have to take a crazy amount of Adderall and Prozac to not interrupt. It's Tourette's.
I've always wondered kind of like how I would operate on Adderall because I was prescribed it as a child, but it was one of those things where I was like, no, I think it'll crush your spirit type thing. And I would be more focused or something, but I wonder. It wasn't like hyperness. It was
like you're like, I would love to have that white ring of schmegma around my lips at all times.
What happens?
That definitely
Do
happens.
I have it right now? Just
not
from
in the
life?
slightest. Not in the
I'm so nervous.
Just from life.
And I didn't bring my kit, like my drag kit, where I usually travel with like a full rig.
Your face is unbelievable.
Because it's shellacked, but
I am covered in caulk and grout at the moment. Your face is flawless. Did you learn how to put makeup on from child acting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. When I was on Broadway, they like sent someone over from the Mac store and like gave us makeup products, and then they were like, figure it out. And so we did our own makeup for Broadway, but of course we went too far. We were supposed to look youthful and 13 years old, and I did like a full early 2000s like silver and black and purple smoke, and it was nothing to do with the show. Like we were supposed to be from like Indiana. I don't even remember. But yeah, no, I've been doing makeup forever. Too much of it. But it's good to know now. It was good in the pandemic.
How are you funny though? Your parents loved you?
Okay.
That seems like its own form of trauma.
You know what's funny? I just saying this today, and this is like probably not keepable, innable, but like my lack of trauma from my childhood is now becoming a problem. Like when I make friends.
Because you can't trauma bond with anyone. It's impossible.
I can't. There's other things, but like, no, I had like a near perfect childhood, and I'm upset, and I love my parents, and I still hang out with them, and they're still together, and we all have so much fun. And
sounds toxic.
Honestly,
sounds entrenched.
It's wild, right?
If I hear a healthy childhood described, I'm like,
and I'm very acerbic and kind of like I'm like a little bitchy, and I have a dark sense of humor.
I love
like,
it.
My parents are like the most fun people. Like you wanted a wedding. They're the best hang. They're the people who like go to the beach.
Drunks.
They're not drunks. I know. No, trust me. Like I have plenty of things that work for problems, but oddly, and I blamed them because I'd audition for things where I'd have to reach. I said like it was all me stuff. It was nothing from them.
Interesting. Like I don't have enough
No.
trauma to like tap into this
No,
role.
Nothing. I was like, where can I tap?
And they're
Where can I
still
tap?
married.
Yeah, they're literally at our house right now,
Where's
swimming in the pool.
secret family?
Where's the secret
I
family?
don't know. When's it
don't
gonna come crashing
know.
down?
Any second.
You seem mentally very healthy. It's very.
I'm sorry to say it might be from my closeness with my devastatingly normal family.
It's very rare that I get to hang out with someone that I'm not worried about. Like it's just a natural thing. I'm not worried about you.
You're not worried that I spilled water all over
I'm
my
just
mouth.
no. I mean, you're
That makes me happy. Thank you
obviously-
so
yeah,
much.
you are having a stroke, and
I'm
you
having
do,
a little mini stroke.
We do need to get the
And there's
paramedics
no-
here, but I
there's
need to
no
finish
service.
this interview because I know you're going to do numbers. But so try to stay alive for the next like 40
I got
minutes.
you. I'm here.
Thank you so much. But also, I mean, look, everyone's gonna ask, well, her trauma. We know what her trauma is. I'm gonna say something right now. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about Nickelodeon. I don't want to hear about iCarly. I don't want to hear about any of this. Certainly not from you. I am silencing a woman right now, okay? I don't want to hear it. Quiet on this set. I do not believe
Oh my
it is
God.
a person's job that was in a toxic environment and an abusive environment to be the person that has to speak out about it. I hate that shit. You were about to say something. Shut up.
No.
Shut your mouth.
No,
It's not necessary. I cannot stand it when you can head out for this. I don't even need you for this. The thing is, and this happened to me, I was pressured to speak out on something.
Yeah.
And that was so unfair. It's
Yeah.
like this expectation that women have to speak out and put themselves on the line
Right.
and go through like a Twitter comment section nightmare
Right.
because the adult men behaved badly.
Mhm.
So they're like, well, these adult men forced people to do things they didn't want to do. These innocent people were forced to do things they want to do. Now I want to force you who are innocent to do something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Shut up. What did I say?
I'm not going to speak on it. I'm not going to speak on it. How about that?
Why would you?
I'm gonna follow your advice and
Why
I'm gonna
would you?
be quiet
Why would you?
on this set.
Why would anyone say why do you have to say something? I mean, Marina Cosgrove's a really good friend of mine, whatever. And she was like going through hell, being like, everyone wants me to say something. I'm like, why is it your job to say anything? Your
Yeah.
job, you were hired to say what other people wrote and go home. Why are you now required to weigh in?
Right.
So you want a tweet, you want a statement, so that what? So this person that did nothing wrong has to be in court for the rest of their life with some weirdo? But I just want to address that up top because I feel like,
I know.
you know, I said like, what questions do you have for Liz? Like on Instagram, and a lot of people want to ask about that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's just like, we're entertainers. It is our job to entertain you.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to weigh in on stuff and I think that we are in an epidemic right now where people actually can't keep their mouth shut and
Right.
can't stop weighing in on stuff that's none of their business or not their problem. And I think it's really cool that you're just like holding the line and being like, I'm gonna live my life and stay sane.
I'm gonna try to stay sane. That's my daily goal, and it's been going well for me. And it's kind of some things are a no-win situation, you know. And it's like I could feel something or say something or want to say something, and it'll get
It won't
torn
be
apart
enough.
before it even leaves my mouth.
That's it. I'd
Um,
say something if y'all were reasonable, but you're not. And whatever I say, you're gonna twist it around. I mean, that was the thing when I had to say something. Everyone's like, "You need to say something. You need to weigh in." And then I say something, and everyone's like, "You're a snake. You're
Yeah.
threw someone under the bus. What you said was wrong. You didn't say it right." It's like, oh, I can't.
the comment
win.
section type of world is not. It's not. I don't know. It's not feasible. You can't do it. There's no way to win. There's no good way.
Some of the people are lovely, but it's a lot of self-righteous indignation addicts. I think we're going to look back in 20 years. You
Yeah.
are so pretty. It's shocking. I think we're going to look back in 20
Whitney.
years. It's taking my breath away. I'm gay. We're, it's like I cannot focus. But it,
When's our comedy coming
We're gonna
out?
look-
We're doing it. I can't wait. I'm actually so excited for our movie to come out. What day does it come out?
and it's the election day.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good day to drop it just because all the people will be watching our movie.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I like it. I think it's timely. I'm actually so excited.
I mean,
for
no
our
one's
film.
gonna vote. They need something to do on
They need
election
to watch.
day.
They should vote for our. We should do a Kickstarter for our movie.
Yes, we
Let's
should.
go. I'm sick of following the norms of how you
Why don't
go
we
through things in
I
Hollywood.
think we should just make just us.
Let's just do it.
just
We'll shoot
own-
it here.
Why?
I was inspired.
Why not? And it can be like remember The Room?
Yeah, it'll be like the
all
room.
shot in one place, but
Yeah.
Room the comedy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have a kid.
We
We can roll up in a carpet.
We can have that goes back to the other thing we were talking about. I was going to say the baby can be in the movie, but we don't. Maybe not. Maybe
If you're the mom, it's fine.
it's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's a no cursing too, right?
We can curse.
No.
It's just,
I'm not going to curse. It sounds like it's a pain in the ass.
I can't stop doing it.
No,
'cause
I'm good. I don't
I
have to
have
do it.
Tourette's and I am white trash till I die. But YouTube now, if you curse in the first, I think 10 minutes, it kicks you out of the algorithm.
Oh, that's
and
good to know. Okay, that's
I
great
don't
to
care
know.
about being demonetized.
I got a text from my dad today and on my phone in the car. We're in the car together and he's sitting in the front seat and I was in the back seat. And he could have just said it to me, but instead I got a text. We were like, and he said, "Remember, Lizzie, no matter how many times people say the F word, it doesn't mean you have to say it too." And if you knew my dad, he's so not this guy. But once in a while he sends like these like Leave It to Beaver texts to me that are just so, and then I go, "Dad," and he goes, "Ah," like he knew it was never gonna hit, but he just wanted to send it anyway. But then it like with you and it's, I just said it. It sticks with you. I just said it. Unbelievable, and he was just it's
he
very
knew
funny.
the way to. I love this guy. I love your dad because he knows telling you what to do isn't going to work.
But he knows it plants like an
I'm going to
infectious.
infiltrate your brain, and you'll you know what? You'll keep saying it, but you won't enjoy
You won't enjoy it. That's the whole
I'm
thing.
going to take away the fun,
the
of
joy
saying
of
it,
saying it.
put a
Yeah,
little shame in there.
yeah, absolutely.
That's good
Absolutely.
parenting.
I think so too. Well, that's how they parented me. They were basically like, "You can do whatever you want if you think that's a good idea," and I'd be like.
Ooh.
And I was like, I really don't want to disappoint. On my own, I'm like, I really would rather not disappoint them. They're very nice.
Yeah,
I think I'm not going to go to the party. Like that was my whole childhood.
Mind games.
Yeah, but like they were serious. Mom's like, you can go. Like go. You should. And if you think that's more important than going to your grandma's 90th birthday, you should go. And then my brother would be like, I'm going to. And then I'd be like, guys, I'm going to sit this one out. Like that was my whole childhood.
So
like I didn't do
just
anything.
put it on you to be like,
They
oh,
let me make
no.
all my own decisions. They like let me know their thoughts and then let me move forward with it. But I really never wanted to disappoint them because they're cool and they're nice.
And
so it was on me.
We kind of only want to do things that are taboo when you're a teenager, and they took the taboo off of it, so it stopped making it fun.
Stop making it fun. They stopped making it fun. That's the thing. I think that's what worked because my friends that were like the parents were like this.
Mhm.
They were the wildest. I mean, they had the craziest time, stories, everything. And then me, I was like, I'd actually rather. I'm like, this party is a bit dull.
Mhm.
I'd rather get home. I think my parents have friends over there, but there's probably great food and there's probably like a charcuterie board and like there's probably vibes there. I'm gonna go home. And I'd like want to hang out with the adults. A little weird.
Not weird.
But I still have my best friends are all from when I was in first grade. My girlfriends. So that's
I love this.
That's what they called it. I was on a young kid called it a green flag. I guess that means I deduced in the moment, not a red flag. I hope.
Do you
Otherwise, I
have
reacted
you
wrong.
have good friends from before you were famous?
Oh God, yeah. My best friends are all from when I was 6.
That's great.
And they're my girls. We all hang out. It's really, really good.
That's
We
wild.
make a point to see each other. We hired a hibachi chef to come to the house and cook for us in a couple weeks for our little reunion.
That is so
We're gonna get
weird.
shrimp thrown in our mouths. Yeah,
This
it's a weird
is-
one. We needed an activity, and someone's like, "I saw this recently."
This is like when you're in a sitcom room and someone's like, "What if they all like hired a hibachi
and it
set?"
doesn't
You're like,
get put on the
okay."
board.
You're just
Yeah.
like, that's not a thing. That's not who. No
Yeah.
one does that. Like,
Sure.
what is
Right.
what?
Me, my friends, I guess so.
Do you know about Postmates? You're
Mhm.
gonna love it. You are.
Do I know about Postmates?
Yes. Why hire it? Like, it's just so wild.
But I do feel like it's like there's a gag that's funny. Like, is
bought
there
a
an
man.
Is there an outfit that sounds
Who's gonna feed me
fun
with
but
shrimp?
bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that sounds like something different.
By the way, is that the name of our movie? Fun but bad.
Fun but bad. I love it. Or that's the first review. That's the New York Times review. Fun but bad.
It's bad, but it is very fun.
But haven't you always wanted to accept a Razzie? It's one
by
of
the
my
way,
it's one of my
no, no,
greatest
no.
dreams.
Oh my God.
Wait, is it yours?
It's on my vision board.
No, it's
Yes.
on mine too.
Yes,
well,
it's
so
on-
mine is to do Oscar Razzie same year.
I don't want an Oscar. I
I want a performance so
You know what?
divisive.
How about this? If you're a amazing actor, you're a psychopath. Okay. I would rather not be that good at lying. Okay.
Right.
I would like to be funny in a
Sure.
movie and then go, this movie's bad. Adam Sandler gets Razzies. Whatever he's doing
I love
is
it.
what I want to do.
I
I would
get
rather
it.
America like me than this weird, creepy, fake prom bullshit in the Oscars where people pay to win the Oscar. I'm not doing this. Okay. If you buy me as a
We won't do an Oscar campaign.
trans Holocaust survivor in some weird movie that was made for no reason. We're like in Croatia. I'm not, and then I get a trophy. I'm good.
Do you ever get locations and then that you decide on projects based on locations?
Oh, I can't do.
That's
I
me.
only will shoot in LA, which is why I don't do movies.
Okay, so that's really funny because I don't like flying. I don't know how you are flying. I think you're fine. I can tell
I
you're
fly
fine.
constantly, but why don't you like flying?
I don't like it. I guess because I'm out of control and I don't like being I can't fly the plane. That weirds me out. So if something's wrong,
You're a woman.
I can't
You can
fix
do
it.
anything.
I know, but
you know, airlines now are basically hiring any woman. You don't have to have experience.
Oh, okay. But I'm scared to,
Boeing
guess, man the
has a
equipment.
job opening right now.
Ugh, every time I'm on a Boeing, I'm like, it could be this one. There was actually a full jumper seatbelt on my Boeing flight the other day. I was in Delta One. It was all good, but the thing went over my chest, and I was in a window, and I said to the guy, I'm like, "What's this?" And he's like, "Just put it on." The flight attendant, and I said,
"We don't know."
I'm like, "Is this a Boeing? Like, is this a Boeing window like sucked out of the plane thing?" And he's like, "Just put it on." I was like, "Oh." Okay. So yeah, I fully had a flight where I was like, it was like a Delta normal.
I got on a flight recently that had ashtrays. I was like, this can't be good.
That's also like, that means it's definitely not a newer model. Yeah, from the Roaring 20s. Yeah.
Is this a blimp? Like, what am I? Is it Hindenburg? Like, why are there actual ashtrays?
Are you a window open person or a window closed person if you have control over the window?
In the thing up or down?
Like the window. Like if you're on a window, if you're flying like a commercial airline and you're in a window seat. Like my husband is staunchly window down, time for sleeping. Is that you too?
If someone's window is up on an airplane, I do believe you should be in jail.
It's me.
I believe you're sick. I believe you're deeply.
He's gonna love this so much.
Yourself.
He's gonna love this so much.
I believe you want skin cancer. You love migraines.
You think I can get all that through a window of a plane?
You're right next to the sun.
Wait, hold on. You think I can get like,
dude? If the sun.
Wait, really?
If the sun from when you're in the air, hits your hands, you're instantly.
I've never left an airplane tanner than I arrived on it. Have you?
Are you poking holes in my
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm a pale girl. I
just want to let everyone know that I am on tour. There's no cool way to say this. I am coming to your city. I'll be at the Majestic Theater in Dallas on September 5th. I'll be in Kansas City on August 10th. On September 7th, I will be in Houston, Texas, and then Austin, and the Warner Theater in DC, and the Beacon Theater in New York, and then Carolina, and then Chicago, Prior Lake, Minnesota, Nashville, Atlanta, Denver, Salt Lake City, San Diego, Anaheim, Jacksonville, Boston, and Connecticut over the next couple months. Go to WhitneyCummings.com. I hate myself for even saying this.
You know, there is no better feeling than loving your home, except I can think of a couple better feelings, but they're not legal yet. Wayfair makes it easy to create a space where you can relax and unwind no matter the season. It's a place to shop for everything in your home, from living room seating that fits the whole family, LOL, what's that? To bedroom finds that help you cozy up and snuggle with your loved ones. I recently picked up a beautiful sofa. Yes, I did. And some accent pieces from Wayfair. And because my baby spit and, let's be honest, peed all over my other couch. So I got a new one from Wayfair. I love it. The shipping was fast. It was free. And it was everything I needed. Also arrived in perfect condition. It didn't show up covered in like, I don't know. It didn't have like snakes in it or anything, I need to get off TikTok. Wayfair is the go-to destination for everything home, no matter your style or your budget. If you're like me and you love horse thrones, Wayfair is for you. The selection is huge, ranging from appliances to area rugs to beds to wall art, you name it. Whether you're refreshing your living space, organizing, getting back to school, or upgrading your outdoor area, Wayfair is what you need. They even offer fast and free shipping on big items, and they will help you set it up. So consider it a dating app also. It's good to come home when you live in the Wayborhood. Visit wayfair.com or download the Wayfair app. That's Wayfair, WAYFAIR.com. Every style, every home. If you're a new parent, a bad day means you're either out of coffee, diapers, patience, or all of the above. Stocking up on cold brew and deep breaths are all you, but at least Hello Bello has got your baby's tush covered. Hello Bello believes all families deserve premium, affordable baby products with their ultra-convenient diaper bundle subscription service that includes even packs of diapers and 4 packs of plant-based wipes. You'll never run out of supplies. Better yet, they're delivered to your door. Set, change, and cancel your delivery whenever you want. The fact that this is just delivered to your door is a miracle. Having a newborn was so wild because you'd be out of diapers and be like, oh, I guess I have to like go to a store. My placenta is still on my thigh. I'm not going to make it through a store right now to go get diapers. I can't and I shan't. As a parent, look, I know how hard it is to remember have everything you need all the time. Okay. I was in a deep postpartum depression. I couldn't even remember to wake up. The amount of times I wish something like this had existed is a busy parent's dream. Hello Bella was named the best diaper subscription company by New York Magazine and the winner of the 2022 Good Housekeeping Parenting Award. Ugh, I came in second place. Hello Bella will keep you stocked on diapers and wipes. Go to hellobella.com/Whitney to get 30% off your first customized bundle and full-size freebie products of your choice. That's hellobella.com/Whitney to start bundling with 30% off your first order. Don't forget, hellobella.com/Whitney. Also, Dax Shepard works with this company and Kristen Bell, right? Can you guys do an automatic subscription to Dax of shirts with sleeves? Love you, Dax.
I wear sunscreen on planes in case some
I
psycho
don't
like
think I've
you-
ever worn sunscreen because I don't go outside.
Love it.
I don't go anywhere near the outside. I
Love it.
love
I'm s-
looking at it through. So do you get tan?
I think that sunlight is, I believe it is an attack
Yeah.
on me personally.
how I feel.
suffocated by
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I'm being yelled at.
Yeah.
And I thrive in cloudy overcast. So
Yeah.
in LA, June gloom is my favorite time. I get so much done.
That's exactly how I feel.
And this is also whenever I go to England for like work stuff, I always
Sure.
have so much more energy because it's
Yeah.
like my ancestral, like
Sure.
whatever my genetics just goes well with that
exactly.
temperature.
Yeah, 100%. We'll put this into
We're
our movie
not
too.
meant to be
No.
in this desert. We don't thrive here.
No, I wouldn't think we
We
would.
are under like very abusive circumstances weather-wise.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't really know where I would be happiest, but I'm not a summer person
Not
at
in
all.
the slightest.
I don't wear bathing suits either.
I also-
I won't.
I need to talk about this.
Okay.
Because
I also saw on your podcast, you said you're like naked half the day. Like I'm never naked ever.
This-
I'm like a burlesque changer. Like it's insane. I could
Behind a
change right
screen.
now and you wouldn't see my finger. Like you wouldn't see any part of my body. I think that's because I did theater when I was young. Like I am like a magician when I change.
I was like that before I had a kid. Ever since I had a kid, something happens where you're just like, you get very feral.
Well, maybe you're like, my body is also not just for me. My body is not just mine. Like
Right.
this is like a feeding, like
Totally.
smothering, like loving.
This is a
cuddling
buffet.
machine. It's a buffet.
I need it to be out at all times.
It's an all you can eat.
Because putting on a
Yeah.
shirt, you're just taking it off. You're just getting
Sure.
tetanus. Like
You should do to your shirts, your button-down shirts, what they do in like movies and TV, where you rig it for when you can rip it open during sex scenes. You should put little snaps in between each of your buttons.
I am obsessed with you.
Thank you, Whitney. You.
Okay. I'm obsessed with you. I wrote questions out because I really wanted to be prepared.
Okay.
First of all, I want to talk about your movie.
Oh, there
Spread.
she is. Yes.
I watched the movie Spread this morning with my dude. We were dying. I gotta
Thank
say,
you.
I just think movies in general
Yeah.
these days, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, are they going to tell me how to vote?
I know.
Oh,
I
great.
know.
This is what movies are supposed to be. This is what movies used to be, which is like funny. I'm telling a story. No one's lecturing me on politics. There's
Ugh.
no agenda. It was just so fun.
That makes me so happy to hear, and it means so much coming from you. I was hoping you would like it. And if you're lying really well.
No. It would, by the way, this is the kind of movie that, and I say this in a good way,
Yeah.
would have come out like 10 years ago.
Well, so
like Hangover or
no,
something.
that like I felt like it had this like early 2000s because that's how I grew up with all the best like workplace comedies and romantic comedies, and they were sort of just like unserious and funny and
Every
light.
character's funny on their own. They're all weird.
It's all like characters and weird, and it's also like an hour 30. You know, like,
and I love
just an hour 30,
Leslie.
you
There's
know?
a character that's like
Yeah.
sexist
yeah,
and like a bad.
he's just bad. He has no redemption arc. He's
but
just bad.
No one's like, yeah, but doesn't
No.
he have to have been hurt?
he
Can we?
didn't.
He was
He's
just like a sexist guy,
born a dick.
and it was so funny.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you enjoyed it. And like it was so refreshing to me for all the reasons you just said. And then also like, you know, our writer Buffy worked at Hustler,
Great.
which is the best thing. So that's where she got this whole idea. She was like the
Amazing.
first, if not the first and only, or one of the first temps to become a copy editor at Hustler magazine back
Amazing.
in like the heyday of Hustler, or maybe when it was fading out actually. And then Ellie, our director, was like, so we were trying to make a movie like all women, but making a movie that dudes can enjoy too. It's like a dude movie made by women that like couples
Dude,
can watch and
my
like.
guy was dying.
I'm so happy.
What is it? You can take your fake ponytail and your butt sex.
My grandma didn't like it very much, and then I was like, "Who showed my grandma?"
Yeah.
Like, but that's on that's like she was like,
Your family's getting more and more toxic. the
"Well,
more
no."
I hear it.
I mean, she was just like, That was a hard watch, and I was like, I'm so
By the way,
horrified
that is a
you
perfect quote for the
watched
movie.
it.
Hard
a hard
watch.
Can we call it a hard watch?
Yes.
Also a good name for our movie.
Sure,
A hard watch.
sequel.
And maybe it's about also a watch.
Hard watch, fun and bad. Oh yeah, we're trying to find a watch.
But we find out it's our grandma's watch.
Yeah, it's our grandma's watch.
But we've already had
We have to find it.
It's too redundant, so that's too much. Yeah, very good, because we fall in love later on in the movie. Okay, perfect. Right, Spread. Thank you so much for watching, and that makes me so happy.
You are like a delight.
Oh my God, stop.
And it's also this thing where I feel like comedy has evolved as being this like too cool for school. Like we're all negative and we're all like dry and we're doing the least amount. And like I love Aubrey Plaza, but everyone's like trying to do an impression of that and going like, we're not even gonna try because that would be
No, I'm
lame
kind of an overactor, if anything.
No, I just bought it.
Thank you.
And I was just like, I love her. And it's like, this is what it should feel like. I shouldn't feel dumb for liking the movie.
Right.
I shouldn't feel like
But it's
I'm more
just
into
not
the
that
movie than the
serious.
actor.
That's the whole thing, though. It's just not that serious. It's like, you know, when comedies used to come out and you're just like, you check it out, you like it, you move on, you tell your friend to watch it. It's not this big. We don't have to analyze it and we don't have to tear it apart. Like, did you enjoy it? Did you laugh? Did you smile? Did it make you not think about other horrible things that are going on in the world for an hour and I think it's 34 minutes if we're being technical? Then yeah, then good, then great. Then let's move on.
Yes.
It doesn't need to be a big thing. We're not trying to win an Oscar for the film. We're trying to make people laugh, make people happy.
I didn't go like I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel guilty.
Right.
I didn't go, how did they meet?
No.
You know what I mean? Because there was
No.
some box checking. It just was like, this is what movies are supposed to be.
100%.
And by the way, the jokes were, people also don't go for jokes anymore. Like it was just everything.
See, I love a joke. I love a joke.
I love a joke.
And if there was a world where I could just like be a stand-up but not write any of my own jokes, I would have tried that by now. You're like, that's the thing that a lot of people do. They probably
Oh my God, do you want to do stand-up?
No, I'm too scared, I think. What you do amazes me. I think that's the scariest thing in the world. It's so cool.
When you need as much attention as me, the scariest thing is not doing it. But
so that's cool. So you feel most relaxed and most yourself and calmest when you are on stage.
When I am
doing
trying
comedy.
to cheer up drunk people. My
That's really
childhood
cool.
all over again. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, when you had a good childhood, being around drunks at night is probably scary.
Yeah, I mean, it can be, but if they're laughing, it's fun.
You
That's
gotta
what
do
they're
it.
meant to
You
do.
have to try it.
Yeah,
You have to.
No, but then it's funny because like I'd want to go and I'd want to like no one would recognize me anyway, but it would be fun to have like prosthetics and a different name
That's
and just
so
like
funny.
try it out.
That's the only thing like the prettiest people say. They're like, what if I just like changed my face?
You know what's
It's
funny?
like,
You keep saying I do not operate, nor have I ever existed as like a
that's
pretty
so
person. That's
weird.
not.
What
no,
is
I
that? Hollywood is so messed up. You're like the quirky friend.
Oh, I'm definitely not the hot lead. Oh God, never. No. I'm like I'm a producer on this, which is why I probably got my face on the poster there.
In high school, were you?
So I only went to high school for a couple months, but no, I was in theater and I wanted to date like the lead theater boy. And I was the one who did dares and like went up to the older kids and made them laugh and did little weird dances and raps. Or like put my
So the lead theater kids rejected you?
No, they didn't reject me.
I was just saying they're.
The weirdest thing, the most
the
messed
trauma
up,
is that you did have to date a gay man.
I've dated several gay
Me
men.
too.
And you know what?
Honestly, by the way, honestly, some of my favorite relationships, they were gay. It is a requirement that the person I'm with know every word of the musical Rent. And
I know every word too.
Me too. Every word.
Every word. Where do you want to start?
I literally
I do this a lot with Ariana Grande, and she has her roles I do, and then I'm always Collins. And I have certain roles. I'm always
light my candle. Go. Who do you want to be?
What'd you forget?
Gotta light.
I know you're shivering.
It's nothing, they turned off my heat. And I'm just a little weak on my feet.
What you never can know. Yeah, that's one of them. The film writer cannot see, and the songwriter cannot hear, but I see me everywhere. Yeah.
I
live in my house.
I mean, that is amazing.
I'll be your shelter. Joe, I can't do it anymore.
I sang one song. When one song, Gloria, is just, I believe I'm you. I believe I'm Ariana Grande. Like
That's your tune.
nothing
That's your
can
karaoke
stop
song.
me. And it is about AIDS.
Yeah.
And I feel it feels weird to be enjoying it so much, but it is
It's a great song when it goes, time flies, time flies.
Oh, my goosebumps.
I know.
Always
And
gives
then
me
it's a tune and the
goosebumps
drums
every
kick
time.
in. Come on, blaze out. Oh, it's so good. You activated me. Sorry.
What about
what a show.
hold on.
She's like, set list rent
Hold on,
now.
I'm literally like
Act one
what's your
Rent.
favorite Rent song?
My favorite Rent song. That's hard. Like I'm always thrilled to hear La Vie Boheme when it's not. Like when it's out. Like it's always nice
It
to
takes
hear.
a second.
Yeah, it does.
I Should Tell You is one of my favorites.
No.
I should tell you that I have AIDS. Like I mean,
I'm disaster.
no, the one that it's Maureen and her girlfriend, and
Take
it's
me or
like,
leave me.
yeah,
Of
Take Me or Leave Me.
Of course.
Okay,
It's the
who
best.
would you be in Take
I'm
Me or Leave Me?
always. I
You're
we're probably
Maureen?
both Maureen.
I
We're two
know,
Maureens. I knew
don't
you were a
know.
Maureen.
Sometimes
You're
I'm
a
not.
Joanne. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you want to take
I
initiative.
like
you want to be
lists.
authority. Yeah.
I like, you
Yeah.
know.
Are you vegan?
No.
Okay. What are you like healthy or vegan or something? You're healthy, I think.
How-
What is it?
what
like,
do you
what's your
mean?
diet?
What,
I know you're like, are you on a diet? I mean, like, what do you like to eat? I got to peek at your fridge. It looked healthy.
I
to
keep
me.
it very simple.
Mhm.
I had such wild eating disorders for so long,
Gotcha.
and I got so sick of thinking about food
Yeah.
that I refuse to spend any time on it.
Great.
I just can't.
Beautiful.
I was on birth control for a long time, and it made me hold weight, and I thought that I gained weight more than I actually do.
Right.
And so now I don't think about food because I've like used up all my.
That's like the best way I found to like anytime, and I've never been successful. Anytime I even wanted to go on like a little diet for something, or I felt like maybe I'll try to eat healthy this week or something. Anytime I mentally think about that is when I gain weight, feel worse, and it doesn't work for me. Like it's
That's
always sort of
interesting.
the non-thinking, like you're saying,
Yeah.
the sort of.
And whatever you're craving is what your body needs. Your body's telling
That's what my
you.
mom always told me, and I really believe that's true.
Like, I need this mineral. I need this thing.
Yes.
And you're like, oh my God, I'm craving butter. I shouldn't eat that. It's like, well, your body's telling
I
you.
came into your house, and before I said hello to you, I said sugar. I
She's like,
literally,
can I have some sugar?
I was like, sugar. You're like, do you want anything to drink? Meaning water. Like, no one actually means, do you want a selection of like assorted drinks? And I said sugar. You were
did.
like, holy shit.
I love it. It makes me so happy when someone can advocate for their own needs.
Yeah, I mean, like this part, like I was a child actor. I am good about that. I am like, need sugar right now.
Love it.
Need 10 minutes. Honestly, when I was on Dynasty a lot, I did this towards Dan a little bit. I would go into my trailer. We were shooting every day, and we shot 10 months out of the year for 5 years. I would be like, I need 3.5 to 4 minutes to lay in the dark in my dressing room horizontally. And they'd be like, okay. And I would go do it. And I'd be like, okay, that's it. I just need there's like little things I need that I would sometimes like, I would never shut anything down. But like if it was something was tripping me up, or, you know, takes are going and you're like, something's wrong. I take myself out and I reset myself.
How did you,
instead of having a fit and carrying on.
and that's probably from your parents being like, you make your decisions, do what's, you know what I mean? And being able to play that out.
Yeah.
And not having to, I guess, surrender or like acquiesce to whatever your parents told you was good for you or something.
Right.
Because I have a really hard time advocating for myself because I don't want to seem difficult. I don't want to put anybody out. But when you do that, that's when you're putting someone out. When you're like, no, I'm fine. I don't need to eat anything. Like,
and then you slowly decompose.
I don't want to cause you any trouble. And then you suck.
Yeah.
And then no one has a job because you sucked because you didn't just ask for a banana from the person whose only job is to get you a banana because you were trying to not be difficult. It's when people don't advocate for themselves, I think they, in their brain, they think that they're like super nice, but it's so annoying.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what you're doing. The people pleasy bullshit.
I don't think what you're talking about is even like malicious in any way. It's almost it's pathological if anything. You have a thing you don't want to do. You want to piss people off. You're not trying to be like, oh, watch me turn worse in 5 minutes. That'll be great. You're hoping you can hide it. And you don't have to bother anybody.
But you don't get to, that's magical thinking. You don't like it took me a long time to realize I wasn't doing anyone's favors by self-depriving and being needless, wantless and not putting them out. People want to help. They want to go do. They want to be.
That's the hardest thing for me. Like, you know, like you have dogs. You have a child, it's like the surrendering of the control, especially in work. Oh my God. It's like there are people who like, I swear they really can be trusted to like edit this thing, or they can be and I have to do it myself. And that's something I need to learn to let go of. Or like I'm when anyone watches my dogs, I'm so anal about it. And I write like a manual of like, they can probably watch a dog. You know what I mean?
It's tricky though, because it's like, a lot of dogs who die is, well, the house sitter left the gate open, or I have a friend whose dog got mauled to death in her neighborhood because the house sitter left the gate open. It's like yes and no.
I know, right?
Yes and no.
Yeah, man. I mean,
and
it's
if something
scary.
goes wrong, at least you did everything you could.
Yep.
That's part of the reason. If I'm like, you're watching my dog, here's all the things.
Yeah.
At least if you make a mistake, it wasn't my fault for
Yeah.
not telling you.
Right.
And then I'll be able to at least
Absolved of the
kind
guilt
of
a
live with
little bit,
myself.
100%.
Yeah.
Have you seen the tights thing?
No.
Oh, yeah. I'll just like be looking for like, sometimes, someone needs like a headshot for something and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have it saved. Maybe I'll just Google it and maybe it's high enough resolution where I can add it to the email. I don't have it saved. And then there's like these photos of me that they look like photos of me. They kind of are, but then I'm wearing tights, but I wasn't wearing tights and those aren't my legs. It's like people like to see tights, like nylon tights, like stockings. And it's me with stockings on, but it's not me. It's weird. I just want to know if you know this. I don't want to open a Pandora's box of like people looking for these. It's they're not even that risque. It's just a fetish, I guess. Like me in tights.
And
I wear tights enough where you didn't have to make the photos, but I guess they weren't the right tights.
so they added tights to your body?
Yeah, I can find one.
Like, were you wearing those tights
That's
before?
Not, no, that's
no
my
way.
head over my life. That sucks that you didn't know that.
But
But what's that dress? That's just my head.
But the
look,
fu-
show him. It's the weirdest thing in the entire world. Weird body, weird dress.
So that's
it. That's
okay.
the fetish. They're done. They said
It's
days
also
were complete.
who wears gray tights? Like you put my
They're
head.
always gray tights, Whitney. They're always
There
gray
was
tights.
a time in the early 2000s.
Gray tights were in. It
where
was
we
weird.
fully
Opaque.
gray was a thing. Gray. We would fully wear like suits to the club.
Oh,
like
really?
gray. Remember, it was like suits with shorts, like
Oh, yeah.
sexy shorts.
I think of Fergie for some reason when I think of this.
like
Does that
business
track?
casual
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
club.
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
a
yeah.
big gray, like
That's
business
so weird.
BB business pants and like a tube top
Sick.
for
And
no
like probably a little fedora.
yeah, a little. Easy.
A
Like,
big fedora.
100. Like I definitely, it was like, is she
Sure.
going to court
Sure.
or
Yeah.
tricky?
A lot of fedoras were worn on Broadway. Like the Broadway kids love a fedora.
Is Broadway healthy?
I don't know. It was always fun. I had a lot of goals growing up, and like it was my desire to achieve all of them. So
Yeah.
whenever I got to Broadway, I was like, fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Why should it be easy? This
Right,
is
right.
hard. It was really hard. And then that was so hard that when I was on Nickelodeon, I was like, this is easier than Broadway. That's great.
Whoa.
And then when I got to like the other jobs, I'm like, this is not as hard as Nickelodeon, so that's good. It's
Shit.
interesting, right? It's like,
Yeah.
and so for me, I was like, I chose this completely willingly. I forced my parents to find ways to, I would like find open casting calls nearby in nearby towns, force them to drive me to go try to get myself an agent. And then when I got there, all I wanted to do was do the best job so I could do more jobs like that. Do you ever play softball? I played every sport. My mom wanted me to be well-rounded. I wasn't good at any of the sports. And the ugly sand would get on the white. And I remember the stunning white outfit. And it would get sand on it. And I thought, well, the game's over.
I remember watching A League of Their Own and being like, I want to do that, like in skirts.
I think if skirts, maybe I would have done it longer.
Remember? That's what I'm saying. Remember in A League of Their
vibe.
Own? They look
Sure.
so cute.
I love a good outfit. Anything that doesn't. The basketball was tough too. I was like, I was so skinny and gangly, and I didn't have any sort of body until I was like 17 years old or 16 years old, maybe 17. And it just ate me alive. The basketball uniform, shapeless,
Yeah.
horrible.
Growing up as a basketball person,
So you play basketball?
I play basketball, but like the cheerleaders were
You
kind
good at
of.
basketball?
I'm good enough.
That means you're really good. Because like if you're telling me like I'm pretty good, that means like you're a really good basketball player.
I don't know.
I like that. I didn't know that about you. That's cool.
Do you have hobbies that are not work?
Yes, I do. I love miniatures.
Wait a minute.
Honestly, it's my hobby.
Hold on.
I love miniatures.
Hold on.
Like I love, you were saying I love Etsy. I'm like, yeah, I love Etsy too. I love like searching for like 2 baguettes that are 1/12 scale on Etsy.
Wait, do you have a dollhouse? that you
Yeah, I have
put
a
them in?
dollhouse. Yeah, absolutely. I have
okay.
a custom made dollhouse is spectacular. Yeah,
Wait.
so this woman, so I'll plug her. Tiny House Calls. Okay, she's a doctor, and I don't know if it was during the pandemic or before or after.
She started playing Operation with the
She-
tinies.
No. She always loved miniatures, but she got more into making them, and then it's kind of like it's her passion, and she went public with it. And she's a store now. So at Tiny House Calls, how clever, Tiny House Calls. I love it. I love that. Anyway, she asked if she can make me a dollhouse, and she made it. And it's I sent her reference photos. It's heaven. I love it so much. And my husband has a gnome village. He has a gnome village.
Okay. And
It's very popular amongst our friends and family. It is
where's
like
this gnome village?
it's tucked into a part of the woods. It's cool.
What? Hold on. They're in the house or in the woods?
Oh God, no, they're in the woods. Oh, it's not in the house.
Okay.
I mean, listen, I'm a cool wife, but like it's not in the house. Meanwhile, my big doll house takes over the whole living room. I'm such a bitch, but like,
of course the gnomes aren't in the
The
house. There's no
dollhouse is
room
elegant
because of the dollhouse.
And the gnomes are not their same scale. I said
They're not-
it's simply math.
Does your dollhouse have what he could do is get mini gnomes to go in the forest outside your dollhouse.
That's a really good idea. And honestly, it's probably going to change our marriage.
That's
I'm going to tell
how
him
to
like
keep you guys
after, I'm like
together.
once we get home, I'm gonna be like, you can get mini gnomes, 1/12 scale gnomes to go in that. Yeah. So no, he has a whole thing. Yeah. So
Okay.
he doesn't like mini minis, but he likes smaller.
But so the gnomes,
Yes, the
they're
gnomes.
outside.
They're outside, weather resistant.
And what does he do with
Like
that?
I'll show you a picture of it.
Because
Like
I do
he's sort
think
of
men are designed for war. They're designed for horrible
yeah.
things.
Michael's kind of designed for gnomes.
But I
it
love,
seems.
but I love the way that that men go. Like, I'm just gonna hunt. I'm gonna learn archery. I'm gonna like sublimate.
He
this
gets all in on
instinct.
projects. I will say, like he gets obsessed with projects, and to his credit,
Love
like
it.
he accomplishes them. So when he was like, I'd love, like he turned this overgrown, weeded bamboo strange area into the most gorgeous Zen garden. I didn't even know he could do that. I was like, okay, this is amazing. I paid no attention to it. Then one day there was like a full pea gravel bamboo Zen garden with like secret passageways, and then the gnomes came. And he's like, I'm going to now make a gnome village. And I'm like looking at this absolutely zen, modern, beautiful, spotless, stunning, like yellow and white restoration hardware pea gravel garden. I'm like, I'm going to put some gnomes in here. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to put a lot of gnomes. And then the boxes started coming. And it's like 30 boxes. And they're not small gnomes. They're like
Yeah, no.
choose your own adventure size.
Totally.
So yeah, then we got the gnomes too. But my friends are like, well, let's walk through Gnome Village. They like,
Because if it wasn't this, it would be fantasy football. If it wasn't this, it would be.
Exactly.
I don't always love watching football. I do love watching men watch football.
I get that. That's fun. I understand that.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you're-
I am on the edge of my seat, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's this. I think it's all the men that
Yeah.
are crying.
yeah.
These men are crying
yeah.
and yelling at professional athletes for not doing a good enough job when they can't do a push-up.
I love it.
And it's fun
And they're so stuffing their faces and yeah.
And that's
I
like
love it.
for us, like Drag Race.
I know.
and
I know. That's how I am.
Real
True.
Housewives is MMA for women. It's
100%.
the same
And I
thing.
know what I explained that to him, and I actually think that analogy was really helpful. And like, because I was like, I get this for you. I'm like, so get this for me. Like, this is my. And he actually has watched a couple seasons of Drag Race with me during the pandemic.
Ugh.
We watched a couple, and he's
Yeah.
like, I got it. He's like, I'm not going to continue on the journey, but like, I get it. I respect it and enjoy.
Yeah.
And it'll be like I have.
When you explain to them how hard and how athletic it is,
Oh well, you can see it.
what they're
You
doing.
watch the right episode, and it's like case closed.
Well, I think guys are like, I'm afraid I'm gonna get a boner. Like, what if I'm attracted to her? Like, they can't get
I
past
love that fear.
Yeah, or like they're gonna read to my kids and toddlers. Like, no, they don't have time.
I got my dad to watch it the other night. My dad it was my birthday again, so everyone, we watched Drag Race, and he was like, he started picking up on it really quickly, and Angeria was on, and he's like,
Oh.
she's gonna do something funny, and Rue's gonna like it, and I was like, yes, Dad, that's exactly what's happening, Dad.
Summer is finally here. That means more days spent outside at the park, on the beach, or in the pool. Make sure that you're taking extra care of your hair this summer, since the sun, the salt, the SPF, it can all affect your hair health. Now is the perfect time to start taking Nutrafol. I'm not even going to read this because Dr. Bentale, the best doctor in everywhere, I don't know, he gets flown to Saudi Arabia, according to his Instagram, to like, I don't know, give people facials and lasers and stuff. So he told me to start taking it because I was like, hey, why is my hairline receding? Why do I look like Dick Cheney all of a sudden now that I'm pregnant? He said, take Nutrafol, changed my life. Nutrafol has multiple formulas tailored to give your hair what it needs to grow based on your biology, your life stage, such as postpartum or menopause, and lifestyle factors, such as plant-based lifestyles. Physician formulated with drug-free ingredients, Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting key root causes of thinning hair. And you know what those are: stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism through whole body health. Get results you can run your fingers through. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and you enter the promo code GOOD4YOU. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair because it makes you look like a lioness on the horizon. Nutrafol.com, promo code GOOD4YOU. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code GOOD4YOU. And you can you can whip your hair back and forth. Look at me. Look at me. I was bald like 20 minutes ago. You guys, life can be crazy sometimes. And, look, one person's negligence can result in another person's settlement. Look, if you're injured by the negligence of some stupid drip, some dumb bum, if some loser injures you, you deserve to be paid. If you're in an accident, not calling a lawyer, that could mean that you are leaving money on the table. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions of dollars. Okay. What doesn't kill you makes you richer. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm with over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers with over $20 billion recovered from over 500,000 clients. Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is so easy, even Bobby Lee can do it. If you're ever injured, check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Whitney or dial pound law pound 529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/Whitney or pound law pound 529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about you singing. Can you become a good singer, or do you have to be born a good singer?
I actually think you can do listen, I think you can do a lot to become a way better singer, but I almost feel like it's like for me, I could become a better dancer, but I'm not a dancer. Like I could never do, and when I say that, I mean I could never do like lyrical jazz, like cool hip hop. I could do tap and ballet and structural things
You mean
and
you're not
learn
a
moves.
white woman with cornrows?
Do you know what I'm talking about though? Like, can
No.
you dance? You can dance. You can dance. You can dance.
I'm actually
I'm in the
very
presence of royalty.
good
That's
at
so cool.
dancing.
That's so cool.
But it's kind of joke dancing.
You know what? It makes sense that you have the balls to like get up and dance because you get up and do stand up. It's the same thing. It's the vulnerability thing.
But
And I think
singing's
that
the same
is-
way. What's more embarrassing than like singing? Like it's like, do you know what I'm saying?
I guess I understand what you're saying. Yeah, like I guess in
But
theory.
you nail it, so it's not. But you have to pass this confidence chasm in
I
order.
get it.
You have to like let go and be willing to be embarrassed to not embarrass yourself.
Sure. Especially with like musical theater, maybe something like that too. It's like full on, like there's a lot involved with that. But I get what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Do you think there are like who do you think is the most underrated vocalist?
Shit, like from now or from forever?
Just in general.
The people I always listened to were songwriters who got the songs out. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
And ended up and also people who are like, I'm a Joni Mitchell girl. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like an artist, a painter, a poet, and a singer. And she happens to have an exquisite, amazing, iconic voice, but like she's singing to get out her poetry and her art and she's doing it for her and doing her thing.
And also all I want, like I look, the thing is like stand up, a lot of people don't, it's a lot about like holding your breath and then you have to like
I
let
bet
your,
it is.
it's a lot of
I bet it is.
And the song All I Want by Joni Mitchell, when that's the only song I feel like I ever truly give everything when I'm singing it besides Rent, when I'm alone. And I'm like,
I have to
can't-
hear you sing it. It's her breathing.
I can't.
I've covered
hold-
3 of her songs now, and I covered All I Want, and it was so. I regret it only because like I try not to cover anything that's too.
Can I ask which ones?
I covered All I Want,
Ugh.
Coyote.
I probably I remember I showed it to you. I want to have fun. I want to shine like the sun.
I really
want
want to see you sing it, but that one
No,
was so
never.
hard. Like, see
You
how
really
it
wouldn't dance.
hurt, baby. Like,
Do
there's
you
a
wanna
breath
take a
there. I
chance
think there's a
with
breath there.
maybe
though.
finding some sweet romance with me, baby. And you're just
Sweet
like,
baby, now come
Come
on,
yeah.
insane.
insane.
And you know who else breathes? The breathing. I'm a big Rufus Wainwright fan. I
Mhm.
don't know. That is another, but you can hear his breaths, and that's really helpful because he keeps them in. And he's like, you, and I'm like, got it, okay. Like, and if
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
learn to sing it like him, and I can. But it's so interesting what you say about comedy and breathing because it is
Yeah.
so true.
Oh, I had costochondritis, which is like inflammation in the cartilage of your chest because I was breathing the wrong way when I was doing stand up.
But it'll ruin a whole joke setup if you
That's
can't get.
correct.
I even know from like acting, like you have a long joke and it's got a big payoff, and
Mhm.
if I breathe wrong, I'm like, we got to do another take. It's not
Yes.
funny.
And
And
then
then it's
if I-
fine. Like it's not
That's
funny.
exactly right. And then it's like sometimes it's just like the faster you say it, the better. A lot of times with like comics, like, why isn't this joke working? I'm like, you just have to say it faster. You cannot
100%.
stop to breathe. You have to practice holding your breath
Yeah.
longer.
It's just timing is just. It's just.
You just have to. And then when you breathe during the punchline or whatever it is, it breaks the hypnosis.
I was always a big Mitch Hedberg fan, and that's like a
Right.
really interesting example of like the oddest like thing that worked for him that I guess
Mhm.
it just does not work for other people. I see other people trying to do it, and I'm
Yep.
like, it's all about it's really interesting. I think that's really cool. I
Yeah.
never thought about that ever.
Mitch Hedberg, it's like the whimsical. It's so interesting. Like the same way that when people get annoyed, like how come I never get these parts? Or like,
Yeah.
you get cast what your essence is. It's
so
just
true.
unless you're Daniel
It's so
Day-Lewis,
true.
and it's fine. You get the job when you walk in the room
I
before
know.
you say anything,
I
or you
know.
don't. Like Kate Siegel was on. We went to high school together, and we like thought we were each other's like nemesis because we were both like
Yeah.
in acting class and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
and like
yeah.
we both come out to Hollywood. She's on like Haunting of Hill House, like she does
Yeah.
like dramas and stuff. And she came on, and I was like, "Well, when did you start booking jobs? Like, when did this happen?" You
Yeah.
know, because she came out and wasn't booking jobs, and she's the most beautiful, funny, smart, like amazing.
Right.
And she was like, I realized that my energy was so anxious and someone that was so full of fear and someone that was so ambitious that I had to just go out for those roles.
It's smart, man.
And my fear of not booking the job worked well in a horror movie audition.
Brilliant.
And I was like, that is such a life hack.
It's such a life hack, but it's true for everything. I feel like if you're not a self-actualized person, if you're pretending to be somebody else, you will not get any of the things because you're not attracting any of the things that are meant to be you because you're wearing like a cloak of fakeness that you've created to be something else, and it can sniff it out. So it's never going to give it to that sort of like meat suit.
Trash bags full of blood.
Wouldn't it be cool to float around and just be like, oh,
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean? Sometimes it's fun.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's really fun. Other times it's like, ugh.
Where does that come from?
I've always thought it. I think all the time in hair and makeup spent
Interesting.
and looking at myself. It's like, I don't.
Just why am I gussying up this
Like, what are we doing?
this big
What's all
organ of
this?
skin?
What do we do? My husband does this all the time. He smokes a lot of weed, and sometimes I'll just be like, he'll be like, so weird. I'm like, what's so weird, Michael? He's like, it's just weird that we have just like hair growing out of our head. I'm like, okay. And he's like, it's weird, man. Why is there hair?
You have
What
it
is
growing
hair?
out of your face, sir.
I know. He's like, I look in the mirror. I don't get it at all. But I guess this is what it is. It's
Just
true.
monkeys in makeup. I mean,
it's
it
just
is
the weirdest thing in the
wild.
world. And then you look at apes and monkeys, and I'm like, well, that's us too.
Oh, and then when you like have dandruff and you're like, wait, my scalp is coming off?
Your scalp
Like
is
when
coming
shit
off.
like that happens, when you floss and you start bleeding, you're like, I'm this close to bleeding
Or
at all times?
Totally. Or when you find out you have wisdom teeth, you're like, there's more teeth in
Wait,
there,
there's
you know?
no. There's
You're
teeth
like,
on top of
what?
our teeth at all
It's
times.
so
Dude, my
gross.
baby, I can barely look at him when you have you seen the X-ray of a baby's face?
I have. It's very
They have
scary.
teeth waiting up here. There's another row of teeth that's just in there.
waiting rooms of
No, they're
teeth.
already there. I was like, I can't take this haunted poltergeist away from me. Like I can't. It like
I have
messed
to
up
ask you, is it so hard having a baby, or is it kind of like, because for me, I feel like we have similar personalities. I'm gonna go out and like do what I do, and I'm gonna get it done. I have this image of me pulling out my own baby. I won't take any drugs. That's not true.
Amazing.
But like, I am a little scared of like me mentally after having a baby and like caring for this little being, or is it sort of just like they've all done it before us and we'll do it after us, and it feels natural?
Teenagers do it in the woods.
And does it feel natural?
You know what I mean? It's I will because the mom community.
No. You know what? Don't even answer that.
I'm
gonna do
going
it to you.
to.
No. I don't want you to answer it because you're
Come
so
for
right.
me. Come
no,
for
don't
me.
come.
It's
Don't.
fine.
No.
I am so fine. Come for me. I am sick of walking on eggshells around people. Again, if you put out an inauthentic energy, you're going to attract the wrong people.
Yeah.
I would rather say the truth about this, and then the people that don't fuck with me, they can keep moving, and the people that
Only
I'll
if you
attract.
want. The last thing I would want is to ever.
I'm going to start by saying I had a kid at 40.
Yeah.
Like I had done tons of work on myself, 12-step programs. Like I'm if I had done it at 25, I'm sure it would have been incredibly hard. I was easily overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I operated from the point of view of a victim, and well, of course this would happen to me.
Sure,
the
sure.
narcissism of thinking I'm a piece of shit in the center of the universe.
Right.
And if something falls on the ground, of course this would happen. And just sort
Right.
of like that histrionic, self-absorbed, like my life has been so hard that I don't deserve anything. Everyone owes me so much. Like I was in the wrong headspace.
Yes.
I'm sure if I had had a kid then, I would have behaved like the women who think they're the first woman to ever have a kid.
Mhm.
You know, those women, they're like, we need to turn the AC off. I have a baby. And everyone's like, yeah, we all have kids. What do you
People do
talking-
it with dogs too. It's wild.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I mean, dogs can't advocate for themselves. To be fair, babies can. Like, I actually kind of am on their side a little more.
I have
Babies
questions
can,
about that too, but I'll
babies
ask
can
you
cry.
later.
Babies can,
Sure.
And so for me, I was at a place mentally where I was really wanting the hardness of having a kid.
You wanted that
I
challenge.
was craving that challenge because I was already mothering adults
Yeah.
and had gotten my ear bitten off by a dog that I was saving giraffes and animals. And
Yeah.
I was like already martyring myself on
Yeah.
things. And I also do get to have help.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it with the father of my son, which from what I understand makes it way easier.
I'm not going to weigh in, but I always
People-
wondered on that
Okay,
too.
but every woman at my baby shower, they were like, wait, the dad's not going to be around. Oh, you're so lucky. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, oh my God. Like, and it's no shade.
No,
Look, men
I
and
get
women, they're
it.
wired to do kind of different things in that
Hey,
moment.
two people in general, by the way, agreeing on every single thing to raise what you hope to be the most perfect, no mistakes being, right? That's an impossible
We're designed
feat.
to be a team, which
That's
means we're going to
right.
have different strengths.
That's totally
I
right.
think it takes a while to realize that different people actually have different definitions of the same word. Little things like that,
Oh
where you
God,
go,
yeah.
when you go, oh, overwhelmed means something different to you than
That's
it means to
correct.
me. It's so small, but so major.
Oh God, yeah.
And like
Oh God, yeah.
how I don't say goodbye when I get off the phone.
Oh, you don't say goodbye.
I don't not. It's implied.
It just ends. The
Well,
call
it's just
ends.
like, all right, talk soon.
Do you think you're maybe looking at your conversations as like, I wouldn't say like stand-up bits or segments, and you're like, oh, if that's 4 seconds shorter, if I omit that last section.
Oh my God, this call will be so much better if we just tighten it up.
Because I think about that sometimes.
Because I don't like
edit too, and it's
I don't like bombing. I'm bombing. By the time we go, all right, well, I'm bombing. You're gonna bomb.
I wonder if there's a correlation.
Saying goodbye is so cringe to me because it turns into the fakest shit. It's always like, all right, well,
and it is fake, by the way.
I guess I'll let you go. It's like, you called me. And then I start getting my feelings hurt. The way people say goodbye hurts my feelings so much. And I had to communicate with him about it because he'd be like, all right, well, I know you're busy. And I'm like, no, I stopped. What? Am I like,
because
well,
you
was
were
that what it
doing
was?
like a formality and you're like being
But
literal.
but stop making me an asshole.
Sure.
You want to get off the phone. Just say you want to get off the phone. Just be like, all right, I got it.
Yeah, I get it. But that's more of the same thing. Learning, like that might be a you quirk. And it's like, that's something to learn and
Totally.
like move forward with.
Something that meant nothing
We
to
have
me.
lots of those. And it takes this long,
by the way,
dude. I'm
for
still
me,
learning them.
I actually saw it as a form of intimacy that I could be authentic about that. Like, oh, we're so close and cool.
Oh,
I can
God,
just end
yeah.
a call. Someone else was taking it as like rude and like not loving.
Sure. But like the most amazing, wonderful thing is like when you stop secretly being, I think the worst thing is like microaggressions when you don't address a thing and then it builds. And then when someone that used to say to me, like this happened early on in our relationship, he's like, well, 2 weeks ago, I'm like, 2 weeks ago, you've been building and adding and stacking.
So this last 2 weeks, this has been in your mind?
Yeah, like I thought we had a great day. The other day I thought we had a great. So this was early on, and I was like, got it. I'm like not down for that. Like I'm someone who's like in the moment, like, what's wrong with you? That's how I am.
Because then you have to question everything. When someone's like 2 weeks, I am a fan of, if it's hysterical, it's historical. Like, figure out what you're going to say before you say it. Say what you mean what you say. Don't say it mean. Whatever. Sometimes
if it's hysterical, it's historical.
Loving.
I love that. I've never heard of that.
Good.
If
It's
it's
good.
hysterical,
So if I'm
meaning
like,
if it's like a fit of rage, passion
so you're
thing,
just going to not pass the salt? Fine.
Sure.
That
We're
has
going to remember that and log that, and
It's
that's
not
in there now.
It's not about the salt. Can I just ask you something about this movie?
Yes, you can.
Did you have to navigate this, like, is porn feminist?
Yeah, I've been asked that a lot.
Uh-huh.
And it's really funny because it was not actually a big thinking point for me when I signed on to the movie.
Yeah.
I liked the movie. I don't have any hangups about the porn industry or porn.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I thought, what a cool script. I thought all the characters were represented really well. That was important to me, obviously. I
Yeah.
am a producer on it. So I liked the way that they wrote our, female stars in the movie and everything like that. But I keep getting asked that question almost as like a gotcha thing that people get. And I'm like, I don't have.
There's like movies about female murderers, and they're like, is this ethical to kill people? It's so interesting that as soon as
I think we get extra scrutiny as women, like on women topics than if it was not. Like it would just be like, what was the funniest? Who was the biggest prankster on set?
Yeah, totally.
And it's a little more. But by the way, I mean, I think that. Well, I'm not going to give my statement on it.
No,
now,
don't. I just like
no. But my point is, yes. People have asked me that a lot, and it's just like I just thought of this movie as something that just made sense to me. The characters made sense. The story made sense. Her evolution made sense. Her closed-mindedness and all her dumb, false feminist stuff also made sense to me in the beginning. I made a lot of people like that. Don't you mean people who are like, I'm a feminist, I hate this, and you're like, that's not feminist.
Feminists, I'm putting that in quotes for people just listening, have recreated high school bullying by deciding who is a feminist and who isn't. And it's just someone that you don't like, and just admit it. I got confused about the concept of feminism when it meant I had to start pretending Marilyn Monroe is smart.
Last thing I'll say, then I really will leave. It's been very fun.
I will not let you.
It's been very fun to meet you. I keep talking to you. But when we were filming Dynasty in the house in Georgia that we were in, I never got to see it because I was always, I don't know why I missed it. In the attic, there was a doll room, a full-on doll room, like Annabelle, and they were all in there, porcelain. And oh my God, it was the scariest thing in the world. So I heard. I saw pictures of it. Can you imagine?
So you're not a doll guy.
So I actually was a
Dollhouse.
big Barbie girl. Big, huge, massive, have all of them.
Have you seen the interests of the brunette Barbies opposed to the blondes? The blondes are like boys, surfing, cars. The brunette is like computers,
Scientist.
photography.
Pilot. It's so dumb. I wasn't even back then. It was literally where I got my start in writing like
Yeah.
hour longs like that. I
Wild.
haven't yet, but I'm just saying like that's the narratives
I
where
put them in the
I
microwave.
would be like sweating. My mom's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I just have to wrap up this storyline. It's a lot." And my friends would come to play, and they're like, "Oh, can she be?" I'm like, "She's only ever a stepmother, so she's definitely not gonna be like whatever your idea for her is today. That's not who she is." Like I typecast all my girls; they only played the same type of thing, and then I wouldn't use the Kens because they were too weak looking. So I took my brother's Max Steel. They were jacked. These action figures, and gored big. Not my type, but they didn't make my type at the time. So then we just went with that. And their arms bent so they could hold Barbie, and like do that. And like it was nuts. I'd spent all day down there like creating worlds, and
whoa.
it got heavy.
But dolls, like
I like dolls, but
the-
like not the porcelain. no, it's not
those
my thing.
collecting those apparently because I did have a sex robot made and I got very into the doll community.
You got a sex robot made
Yep.
of yourself?
Uh-huh.
Is it here?
It is.
Can I see it?
Yes, of course you can.
It's sound theme.
You can have it.
I don't need it. I would love to take one of these cameras home with me as I arrive home to my family gathering with my used sex robot.
I will make this happen.
Why did you do that? Curiosity.
Look,
Did you?
mental illness? I have metaphorically in many making.
Did you
it-
like
I
make
fu-
out with yourself?
I myself buying this robot, but did not have coitus with it.
I'm just so interested. That's so interesting.
It
Was
was
it like for
an experiment that got kind of wild. I did a special where I only
Okay.
talked about sex robots. I like for each special, I like to do one theme and like
Got you.
get it from every angle.
Okay.
Sex robots were, and because I don't like to be the person that does a premise and does two jokes and then no one else can. You know what I mean?
I totally get it. And then that's your title, but you're like, why did it not come
But
back?
also, it's like kind of like as comics, you're kind of like,
Sure.
like if you're going to talk about who built the pyramids and you have two jokes about it, it's like, well, okay, now no one can do, you know what I mean? So I like to do every possible joke on it. So I'm not like just like pissing on the premise and
100%,
taking it
I get
for,
that.
like
That's
wasting
cool.
it. And so I also got really fascinated. So I went in just for a couple jokes. I went into the doll community chat room and
Got carried away.
they're very good people and they're very sweet men. And a lot of people that get sex dolls, they can't afford a girlfriend. They have it's a lot of broken hearts people.
I bet it is.
A lot of gay men that like dressing up women
Interesting.
kind of thing. And also people that like to be alone because as hiders, the best way to get someone to stop hanging out with you is to have dolls in a glass case.
No doubt.
If you
No, or gnomes and miniatures. Uh,
if you're sick
yeah.
of having all these friends and
Sure.
being asked out on dates, I can help you.
We were out for my birthday in this place, and it was an art store, and there was something. This is exactly the type of stuff that we buy for each other for gifts. I'm not a big gift person, but it was a pig giraffe. It was a pig giraffe, like paper mache thing that someone had made with zebra stripes on the bottom. So it was like a zebrograph or something. And
Oh
I
my
was just
God.
like smitten with it. And he went in and bought it for me, and that was one of my birthday gifts. And that's the type of
Need
stuff.
it, need it,
That's like one of
need
those.
it.
And then I got home, and I have this strange creature. I'll send you the site. It's a really cool thing. They make like these creatures, but with gorgeous clothes on, and they kind of make them human vibes.
Obsessed.
And they had the same eyes, and they were the same colors. And I was like, oh, that's his steed. I found it out in the wild. Like he rides that. So this is my narrative, but it makes me happy.
This is the only world I can live in at this point.
That's where I live, and I
Mhm.
grow vegetables. It's
Yes,
all
this
insular,
is
cuckoo.
how-
Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
it, love it, love it, love it.
I mean, this is why when we were staying at a place in San Jose that had an anime convention,
Sure.
and we were like nerds, and then we got there and we were like, oh my God, these are all
Heroes.
these are heroes. These are all people that are like, reality? No, thanks. We're doing this. And I'm like, oh my God,
I
these are my people.
100.
We reject the news. We reject the truth. Not interested in reality. This is where I live. You are
Yeah.
a dragon. I am Sarah from Labyrinth. And like
Love
it's you
it.
just reality is just not working.
It's secondary.
It didn't take.
It didn't take. It didn't take. I love it.
Like
I
my
agree.
baby at first did not take. All right, I'm letting you go.
That was so much fun. I'm so curious to see what ends up being in there.
Yeah, no, this will be a sizzle. This will be like a 5-minute sizzle.
This is also good for selling our movie.
I'm
it's a
not
quick
kidding.
2 hours.
I'm not kidding.
I think there's a world in which. I think there's a world in which. I think there's a world in which. I think there's a world
in
in which
I'm obsessed with you. I end
I'm
these very
obsessed with
awkwardly.
you.
I don't like saying goodbye, as you know.
See you later.
Is it Tubi original, by the way? I do believe I was the first person to ever subscribe to Tubi. It was the Amber Heard.
You were this. Oh, when did you?
Movie.
Oh, the
No. I was waiting.
I
It
meant for
came
this. I
out
was like, I was the second.
and it was when the Amber Heard movie that came
Yeah.
out. Tubi made a movie about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial before the verdict came in. Before the verdict came in, they had shot it,
So
written
fun.
it, shot it, released it before the
That's
verdict.
the confidence we love.
I have never watched a movie faster. I was like, I cannot. And so I was like waiting, refresh. And so Tubi is, I'm a big Tubi guy.
Sick.
Big
I really appreciate
Tubi
it.
guy. And they really let you make a movie that was like not
They really did. No, they really did. They said go for it.
Goes
let's,
for it.
Let's laugh.
like for real.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of shocked. I was like, I can't believe this movie's allowed to be on.
No,
Like
they
I
just
feel
like they were like cool. And by the way, again, like as a producer, no pushback. They were like, cool, make the movie as it is. And we did. And
Obsessed.
that's how it ended up. Like there was nothing like, maybe we should take this. No, done.
Tubi, spread. Love you guys.
Thanks for having me.
Don't ride elephants.